I read 10 books in July, and honestly, this month was a little all over the place. Welcome to Book Labyrinth, where we unravel the stories behind the pages. I read romance, thrillers, mystery, contemporary fiction, and a couple of books that completely surprised me. So, here are the 10 books I read in July, from my lowest rating to my highest. Let's get into it. Number 10. Extracurricular by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This one follows a college student who gets pulled into a complicated situation involving relationships, secrets, and some very questionable decisions. I really wanted to love this one because the premise sounded so intriguing, but for me, the execution just didn't completely land. There were definitely moments I enjoyed, but overall, I wanted a little more from the characters and the story. For me, this was a 3 out of 5 stars. Number 9. Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt by Ben Reeves. This one was definitely different from what I normally pick up. It's a character-driven story that deals with relationships, personal struggles, and the complicated ways people affect each other. I liked the writing, and there were some genuinely beautiful moments, but I didn't connect with every part of the story. I think this is one of those books where your experience will depend a lot on whether you connect with the characters. I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Number 8. In Stormy Weather by Chelsea Curto. This was one of my romance picks of the month. It has that emotional contemporary romance feeling, with complicated relationships, personal growth, and characters who are trying to figure out what they actually want. I enjoyed the chemistry, and there were definitely some moments that had me invested. But I also felt like some parts moved a little too predictably for me. Still, it was a really enjoyable read. I gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. Number 7. The Exquisite Torment of Loving Your Enemy by Brigitte Knightley. The title alone basically tells you what you're getting into. This is enemies to lovers romance with plenty of tension, banter, and 2 people who absolutely do not want to admit how much they like each other. And honestly, the chemistry was the best part for me. I love when 2 characters can argue for half the book and somehow still have incredible chemistry. There were a few things that didn't completely work for me, but overall, this was a really fun read. I gave it 3.75 out of 5 stars. Number 6. Hot Girl Murder Club by Ashley Winstead. Okay, this one was fun. You have murder, secrets, friendships, complicated relationships, and a group of women who are definitely not going to sit around and wait for someone else to solve the mystery. I really liked the energy of this book. It felt fast, entertaining, and very easy to keep reading. Was every twist perfect? No. But did I have a good time? Absolutely. This one gets 4 out of 5 stars. Number 5. Getting Away with Murder by Shari Lapena. If you know Shari Lapena, you probably already know what you're getting. Secrets, suspicion, people who are definitely hiding something, and a story that keeps making you question who you can actually trust. This was such a quick read for me because I constantly wanted to know what was going to happen next. Some of the twists worked better for me than others, but overall, it was exactly the kind of fast-paced thriller I wanted this month. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Number 4, Helpless by Jessica Knoll. This one was probably one of the books I thought about the most after finishing it. It's dark, uncomfortable, and definitely not an easy read. The story slowly reveals more about the characters and the situation they're dealing with, and the more you understand what's happening, the more unsettling it becomes. I really appreciated how much tension the book created. It isn't necessarily a book I'd recommend to everyone, but if you like psychological thrillers that leave you thinking about them afterward, this one is worth checking out. For me, this was a 4.25 out of 5 stars. Number 3. Every Version of You by Natalie Messier. This was such a pleasant surprise. I went into it expecting one thing, and I ended up getting something much more emotional and character-focused. What I liked most was the way the story explores relationships, identity, and the different versions of ourselves that exist depending on the choices we make. It made me think about how different our lives could look if we made just one different decision. And those are my favorite kinds of books, the ones that make you stop for a second after you've finished reading. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Number 2. Whistler by Anne Patchett. This was one of the books I was most excited to read this month. Anne Patchett has such a strong ability to create characters that feel complicated and incredibly human. And this book really worked for me because it isn't just about what happens. It's about the people, their relationships, their choices, and the consequences of those choices. It's slower than some of the thrillers on this list, but I didn't mind that at all. I actually wanted to spend more time with these characters. This was a 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. And finally, number 1, The Romance Revival by Christina Lauren. This was my favorite book of the month, and honestly, sometimes you just need a book that's fun. This one gave me the romance, the chemistry, the emotional moments, and the kind of characters that made me want to keep turning the pages. I had a really good time reading it. It wasn't trying to reinvent the genre, and honestly, it didn't need to. Sometimes a book knows exactly what it wants to be, executes it well, and gives you exactly the reading experience you were looking for. And that's what this was for me. 5 out of 5 stars. So those were the 10 books I read in July. I had some 3-star reads, a few really good 4-star books, and a couple that I'm definitely going to remember. But if I could only recommend 3 from this entire list, I'd probably go with The Romance Revival, Every Version of You, and Whistler. And now I want to know, what was the best book you read in July? And if you've read any of these, tell me your rating, because I have a feeling we're not all going to agree. I'll see you in the next one. If there's a book you'd like me to review, just drop the title in the comments. Need the ebook? Message me on Telegram. And if this video was useful to you, a small coffee donation goes a long way in keeping this channel going.